So originally when I designed FORUS, it was designed to be really a digital identity provider for smartphones for payments. But with the evolution of blockchain and distributed ledger technology, for the same effort of creating a server that can identify that you are the correct bank user who's doing the transaction, we can also use it, exactly the same technology at little or no extra cost. We can store all of the information related to you, the customer. And that's a paradigm shift and a game changer, because at the moment all of your data resides on the premises of the company that's holding the data. So if it's your bank account, the bank account records are being held by the bank. If it's your insurance details, that's being held by the insurance company. What we're doing now is we're creating a platform where you can store your data centrally, which means it's easily accessible. You can control who sees it, you're in control of the data. And also from a future revenue point of view, it means that you can get paid for selling your data, which is going to become an increasingly valuable source of revenue for people. So what for us is, it's more than just a payment mechanism. It's a tool of the fourth industrial revolution. Just like having an email address is a given today in the digital world, so it's going to be a given that everybody has a FORUS account, a FORUS digital identity, and a FORUS wallet where you can store real-time money. But this can also be used for medical aid. In the US at the moment, we're using this for COVID tracking. We're going to be using it for tracking waste in a waste recycling initiative. So all of this infrastructure is being reused and repurposed at very little marginal cost, which is going to bring about the fourth industrial revolution. You can't talk about technology, you can't talk about a revolution. You need to roll out revolutionary technology for the revolution to happen. And that technology is ready to go. It needs to be rolled out now. But what we have, it was one of the central bank governors of a large African country on a conference called the other day, called it the Steve Jobs moment. We need everybody to stop trying to be the winner, the one who is going to control everything. And everybody needs to agree on a common standard, that we can all share. And it's because of my background not being in banking. I only got into banking about 10 years ago. For most of my career, I created large volumes of data in retail point-of-sale systems, and I spent a lot of time sending that data up and down, trying to secure it. So when I saw the need for financial inclusion and banking products for the unserved markets, I saw the technology, the role it could play was far beyond just transactional banking, far beyond extending loans and charging interest. For the last 10 years I've been putting together the technology platform and ecosystem to create this world of embedded banking, of changing the way that banking transactions have been done. And what gave me the insight to be able to do that is the background in retail point of sale, understanding what drives that whole marketplace, as well as understanding information technology security, encryption, having listed an IT security company. So when you take these combination of things together, and I looked at the banking problem, when I said, how am I going to make banking free? Because if we want it to be all-inclusive, if we want to get everybody involved, it's got to be free. People are not going to pay for something that they can get for free using cash. So for me, it became very clear that the business model lay in how you manage the supply chain and how you process payments for retailers. Because if you look at the payments value chain, or rather the banking value chain, a large source of the revenue that banks make comes from the whole facilitation of payments between merchants and customers. So if you're going to find a way to fund this, it was clear to me that that's where the money would be. And that's where the focus has been. So rather than looking at transaction fees and the monetization of the value exchange, for us, when we said F-free, when we made that the cornerstone of what we were doing, we said we're coming up with a new revenue stream that doesn't eat anybody's lunch. We've got to find ways of adding value that then generate revenue, that then pay the ecosystem. And it became, very clear to me that that was a role that this FORUS cooperative platform needed to play. Is it needs to pay the ecosystem, because we're optimizing and we're streamlining a whole lot of things, but we're not eliminating and we're not disintermediating everybody. And people in the value chain have to be paid. And we take the responsibility for helping to streamline and manage that. So I think that's where I saw the role for us being different to where traditional banks see a merchant association like Visa and MasterCard. Visa and MasterCard's really there to serve the interests of the participating banks. Yes, they provide a service to customers and to merchants, but it's really a banking business and a banking franchise. So what we've done with FORUS is we've created a banking franchise, a competitor to Visa and MasterCard, that provides the same functionality, but it adds all these other benefits for the same effort as giving you a card or a mobile app that can be used for payments. I can give you a free bank account. I can give you access to finance. I can give you access to an advertising platform where I can offer you discounted goods and services that are going to be attractive to you. So it's with this sort of exposure to the broader commerce ecosystem and sort of banking beyond transactional banking, and looking at what the bank of the future is going to need, what tool sets, what tools, how they're going to make money. It was with that in mind, really, that the whole FORUS platform was designed. And, that's where the market is evolving to. If you have a look at the biggest financial services company now in the world, Ant, which is Alibaba's payment platform, they were about to list on the Shanghai Stock Exchange for, I think they were going to raise $47 billion till the Chinese government put it on hold. But the point is that they're using this technology and look at the size it's achieved in such a short space of time. It's because if you utilize these tools, you can achieve true financial inclusion. You can extend credit to small businesses. We can reduce the cost of remittances. All of these key fundamental paradigm shifts that are required to drive financial inclusion to the bottom end of the market all need to happen together. And I think that's the other part that I bring and FORUS brings. It's the ubiquity. You have to stitch the market together. There need to be merchants and customers. There needs to be banks and central banks. There need to be retailers and brands. There needs to be something in it for everybody, and it's got to work for us, and that's where the whole acronym came from. The whole objective, the whole ethos behind it was, how can we find a way for everybody to win? Because unless you can do that, you're not going to get the mass adoption. So there has to be in it for something in it for everybody, and there is.